Good morning to most, good afternoon to others, and good evening to the viewing audience across the pond. I'm your host, Jason Miles, here for another episode of This is Revolution Podcast. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for taking the time to check us out. If you are a returning listener, subscriber, or one of our very valued patrons, well, all right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to thank all of the guests and all of the good people that took time out of their busy schedules to be a part of the week of shows we've had here so far at TIR. We kicked off the week early, 6 a.m. Pacific early, continuing our limited morning series with Deep State Cuba. What fresh hell, where Cuba gives a deep dive into the geopolitical situation at hand and takes your questions. Then we had two shows on Wednesday. First, in the AM, I spoke with screenwriter Todd Farmer about his journey from small town to Hollywood, where he became a successful screenwriter. Then, before he knew it, found himself living in his car. It was a great and honest conversation, and Todd said that he would be willing to join us for movie night, where we'd screen one of his films. So that sounds fun. Then at our regularly scheduled time, we spoke with journalist Ryan Zagraff about his Jacobin Chuck Norris eulogy, how memes made Chuck Norris relevant to a generation of young people who never saw his movies, and how that historical revisionism was able to launder his hardcore Cold Warrior rhetoric. Then we followed that by watching one of his classic movies, Invasion USA. Oh boy. That was fucking insane. Thursday, MT joined me in the champagne room where we discussed the La Russell drama. Hilarity ensued. We hung out with the TIR Patreon crew until the wee hours of the morning. Then Friday, episode 7 of What Fresh Hell dropped. Cuba returned to take your questions. And then a few hours later, I spoke with Randy Shaw about the complicated legacy of the UFW Cesar Chavez and our American love of heroes. All these shows are up to view on our YouTube channel, and we have playlists in chronological order of all of these programs. So make sure when you're done here, you get a chance to check those out if you missed them. At TIR, we pride ourselves on not churning out disposable content. We try to create programming that is thoughtful, challenging, political, cultural, historical, irreverent, and at times downright chaotic, and what we hope is in the best way possible. We cover the stories and ideas that matter, not always the ones that trend. We bring you conversations rooted in analysis, solidarity, and intellectual curiosity. And we do it without selling out to the algorithm and without trying to become another outrage factory. But none of this happens without you, the patrons, the supporters, the people who tune in, share, argue, question, and help keep this show alive. It is your contributions, large and small, that make this show possible. So if you enjoy what we do here on TIR, then consider becoming a patron or a paid YouTube subscriber. For as little as $3 a month or a one-time payment of $30 for the year, you can have access to movie nights, champagne rooms, the Crisis Papers, our new weekly newsletter, and you get the satisfaction of knowing that your small donation is a major part of keeping TIR on the air. Now, all that out of the way, let's talk about why shopping isn't a strategy. I'll never forget about 5 years ago when Pascal and I were guests on a podcast. It was during that era when people tried to build media relationships with other shows, sometimes in the hopes of coalition building, but more often as a way to capture a larger share of the audience. Left media is no different from any other segment of entertainment, except that a few more people in this space pretend to have read the Communist Manifesto. Anyway, our interlocutor, who I won't name, was part of a group that would go on hours-long streams and scream endlessly about the need for a general strike. They were obviously anti-Trump, and I'd say they were more anti-consumerist than anti-capitalist. But beyond splitting hairs, their calls for a general strike were simplistic solutions to complex problems. Have an issue with your hours at work? General strike. Cop pulls you over for a bogus reason? General strike. Hate Donald Trump and his policies? I think you get where I'm going here. The kind of general strike they were calling for has never happened in the United States. And if it were to take place, it would require an enormous amount of coordination, labor unions of all kinds, plus an incredible level of on-the-ground, everyday organizing. We're talking tens, if not hundreds of thousands of organizers across the country. And let's be real. If you're telling people not to go to work for an indefinite period of time, who's covering those lost wages? The material realities of people's lives never seem to matter when you're playing make-believe. For them, the only path forward was the maximalist politics of an online-centered general strike. What was surprising about these faux radical proclamations was the level of online support they generated. YouTube subscribers, super chats, all of it. This channel branded itself as more than just podcasters. They were organizers. And yet somehow a show with fewer than 100,000 followers at the time of our interview was supposed to spark a nationwide uprising that would shake the powers that be and bring capital to its knees, one podcast at a time. When the host asked whether we supported their call for a general strike, I had to ask what the host meant by general strike. And that's when I heard something so ridiculous, it left me speechless. She explained that her people, and I assume she meant their audience, were prepared to not shop at Walmart or Amazon for 3, maybe even 6 months. That was it. And Pascal and I said almost in unison, that's a boycott. The interview went downhill from there. Apparently, we were no longer radical because we questioned the seriousness of their posturing. Now, to be clear, boycotts can be effective, but trying to turn individual consumer choices into a mass political movement against capitalist power is not only limited, it can be exhausting. As Eric Blanc argues in his Labor Notes article, Shopping Isn't a Strategy, the idea of being a conscious consumer can quickly become overwhelming and self-defeating. And when figures like Scott Galloway, every liberal's favorite common sense intellectual, suggest that resistance boils down to simply resisting and unsubscribing, it reveals just how shallow that strategy is. From Eric Blanc's article, quote, a common response to these criticisms is that every little piece of consumer action helps the resistance. And in a certain sense, that's true. All things being equal, it's a good thing if people stop shopping at bad companies. But it's not self-evident that this positive contribution outweighs the negative impact of so many well-meaning Americans feeling like they aren't doing their part purely through individual consumption choices. The goal of a boycott is not to make ourselves feel better. The goal is to make society better, unquote. With millions of Americans limiting their resistance to consumer choices and the occasional protest, we're leaving an enormous amount of potential collective power on the table. If even a fraction of those people became active participants in campaigns and organizations, these chances of mounting a meaningful challenge to things like ICE or Trumpism would increase significantly. Now, wherever you are watching or listening later, there's a link in the description to Eric's article. But to break this all down, with me is the TIR crew. Let me bring in my homie, my dog, the Prince of Miami. He's the man of the Mau Mau Hour. He is the Pascal Robert.
Peace and greetings to the chat. Peace and greetings to the audience. Peace and greetings, Jason Miles.
How are you this morning?
Well, all right.
Did I bring back a bad memory with that?
I remember it vividly.
She's the voice of reason on the show, and she hosted last weekend's Love on the Left, episode 5. Please welcome MToussaint.
Hello. Good to see you, Pascal, Timothy Chalamet Robert, and JM Tiki Taki.
Damn.
Good to see you.
What did I do?
You have a dangerously unbuttoned shirt today. But I did watch a recent episode of What Fresh How with Cuba, and you were hosting and you were wearing a tie.
I always wear a tie for the Fresh How episodes at 6 a.m. Pacific time.
No, in the last one, I think you were wearing a t-shirt.
I woke up late.
See?
I had to steal a damn t-shirt on you, yeah.
Yeah, but ring a ding ding. I didn't even know Jason owned a tie.
Multiple ties because I can get them for a little under a quarter here in Mexico.
Oh wow, and they fit in your t-shirt hole.
Wow. There's an actual drawer that I put them.
Okay.
So everybody here read the article, which I found quite helpful. I don't know how Pascal felt about it.
It was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still trapped in the idea that the personal is political to the point that individual actions feel like meaningful substitutions for collective power?
Well, I think that we still believe that individual actions are, or mass movements or mass action should have political effect. I think part of the problem is that we're stuck in the romanticization of the new left period of the 60s, where we see protests as the end-all be-all way to address our political problems. So we have not disabused ourselves of the notion that that was the successful way of doing things. As a result, we just want to replicate that energy anytime we see a political consternation in our face, whether it be Trump, whether it be a foreign policy effort, whether it be Gaza. So some form of boycott or protest is the answer. As you know, our good friend of show who did the article on mass politics talking about how the Bessner, the effectiveness of it when it comes to things like foreign policy and particularly economic policy is questionable in the new age of contemporary politics. I think that we should really think about asking ourselves, why is it that after all of these years of left politics in the West, we haven't found other effective ways of channeling our opposition to the status quo politics?
Toussaint?
I just like to say that I am a vegetarian.
Damn.
And
Has white supremacy killed your love for meat?
No, maybe.
With patriarchy?
Maybe with this
Your free
industrialization. No, I would like to at least partially blame vegans for this. They have insisted for a very long time that their personal consumption choices are going to change the world and that they should browbeat others into doing the same. They don't know. I find a lot of them don't know much about capitalism. But maybe a lot of people don't. At least in the United States, you're not allowed to talk about it on TV, which makes a lot of people not talk about it in their personal lives or just person to person. So yeah, a lot of people do think that their consumption choices will change the world. I think also people are disenchanted with the political process, and they think that this is the way to create change because political change doesn't seem to be happening. The leaders don't seem to hear us. And they're like, well, you got to hit them in the pockets. That's what they understand. But, a lot of people still don't respond when you hit them in the pockets, especially if you don't hit them in the pockets in the right way. It's, as they mentioned in the article, you need to tell them. Otherwise, it's just abstinence. And abstinence doesn't entirely make a difference. They could attribute low sales to anything if you don't tell them why you're not supporting them.
I have a sticker on my acoustic guitar that says abstinence makes the church grow fondlers.
Ew.
Wow.
How cynical.
That's
wow. I am going to be thinking about that for a long time because it's also like grow fondlers, like it's mutating or something.
Yeah.
I don't like
the
that.
abstinence. Yeah.
I don't think it's the abstinence, but hey.
Have we actually moved beyond collectivism, or is it just evolved into more
collectivism? Wow, did you coin that phrase? Or did you get it from somebody?
I got it from somewhere. I didn't coin that phrase. I'd love to say I was that fucking witty, but I am not. Have we gotten past it, or is it just more socially acceptable as a form of passive engagement in the political realm?
Well, one thing I talked about this in the green room, but this made me think about the ever-present Negro boycott of Target. You guys
Negro boy. The Negro boycott of 2025.
The United Negro boycott.
Target. And one thing that recently happened, right, there was a little kerfuffle when it came to that boycott, because I don't know if you guys are familiar with the pastor Jamal Bryant.
Can you tell us a little bit about him?
He's a pastor in Atlanta. He comes from Baltimore. He's a very slick kind of, I wouldn't call him a prosperity minister kind of guy, but he is the young Generation X version of a TD Jakes, very hip, very slick, very politically motivated kind of guy. And he just out of nowhere kind of made it seem like the boycott was over. And it really kind of pissed off a lot of the original creators of the Target boycott, because they were like, what are you talking about? You never consulted with us. How did you just sweep in and use your power to tell us that this boycott was over? And because they were alleging that the boycott had been successful because Target had been losing money and they had to change CEOs and all of these other mechanisms that were done, all these other results that supposedly came about. But my question was that if the goal was to get Target to reinstate its DEI policy, the whole Target boycott started because Target, under the pressure of the Donald Trump administration, had abandoned its DEI policies, right? And many African Americans were upset because a lot of Black folk use Target not only as consumers, but they use Target to sell their products. There are a lot of small business people who use Target as a place to sell Black merchandise or Black creators to sell their merchandise. And they felt that it was a betrayal of Target for them to be cutting the DEI in the face of Donald Trump based on how much Black support they had gotten. And all of a sudden, this Target boycott began. And when I thought of this article, I was thinking about the Target boycott. I was like, well, how come no one ever interrogated what are the class politics of the Target boycott? Like, is this something that Black petite bourgeois, Black PMCs are doing? Or working class Black people? Do working class Black people even shop at Target? Is Target priced out of the working class Black economic paradigm? Is it really a kind of Black PMC kind of shopping behavior to go shop at Target? And those questions were never asked. And it made me think about the fact that when it comes to things like boycott or mass actions, why don't we ever ask questions like, what are the class of people that are most likely to participate in this? And what are the class of people who are most likely to benefit from this?
Do you want to follow up?
I think people ask the former question, but not the latter. We don't think about who benefits. I don't think people think it out that far at all. As far as class, occasionally you'll get people who say, well, I can afford to shop there anyway, or I can't afford to shop anywhere else. People say that about places like Target and Amazon or whatever, Walmart as well. To tell people not to shop at Walmart is going to be tough in some communities. For some people, it's the only game in town. Or you might have like a Dollarama or a Dollar General or Dollar Tree, but the quality is probably going to be higher at Walmart. And a lot of those dollar stores are a ripoff. It's very difficult. You need something like that.
You'll be like the Black guy in that meme that went viral.
What meme?
Are you being serious?
Yeah. What do you mean?
You and Blackie P don't know what I'm talking about?
No. You're blacking it both ways.
The dude that's talking about how he got out of prison and he met this woman, or no, he either was his baby's mom or a woman he met, I forget, but he went and bought her $300 worth of groceries from the Dollar General. And he got all these TV dinners. And the woman said, my son doesn't eat this. It's not even food. And he has a very thick Southern accent. And he was like, not even food. He goes, he started talking about his life and all the things that he had to eat. And he said, I grew up eating served sandwiches. And his accent, I've never heard anyone say milk like this. And I have worked in the bowels of the South, and I've never heard someone say milk like Murk.
Mm.
He goes, cereal with the powder milk.
Oh, I saw that meme. With the,
I've never seen that.
Mike Adams did a meme with the guy who was saying cereal with the powder milk, jelly with the herb.
Yeah. He said that he had ramen noodles, no packet.
People have turned it into a dance meme. They turned it into a
really?
You've never seen this?
No.
You feel bad for laughing because he's got gold, not even gold, he's got like platinum iced out teeth, right? And he's kind of whining on camera about, again, spending $300, like you're basically saying, if there's nothing near you and you're saying we can't go to Target, it's like, okay, well, there's a dollar store near me. And there is a lot of food. I am a victim of this myself. When I first got married, we had a thing in the Bay Area. I don't know if you have it in New York called the Grocery Outlet. You guys had that in New York?
Mm-mm.
They would sell a lot of closeout items. And I, like the man in that powdered milk video, bought a bunch of TV dinners, and I didn't read on the box. They were for prisons. So it said not for human consumption.
Oh.
My ex-wife was not very happy at the time.
You can eat those and grow fondlers.
Yeah, she abstained. The abstinence was real. That's why there's a 6-year gap between kids. But when you're kind of priced out of going to a traditional grocery store, you'll find these places. There's also kind of smaller mom and pop stores that'll take like stolen stuff. So you're buying hot groceries sometimes. I've definitely bought some of those in my life, considering where I've lived. So I understand the problems with telling someone, it's like, look, the one place where you can kind of get mildly fresh stuff, you don't shop there because they're bad. It's gonna piss people off.
I'll say this. I have mentioned on the show before that there is no Walmart in New York City, but I didn't mention why. So it's actually illegal for Walmart to have a store here. It was decided, I believe, by the city council or the assembly quite some time ago that it would be really detrimental to the smaller businesses in New York City. Tourism is really important here as well. And what is the point of coming to New York City and seeing a Walmart, which you could see where you came from, if you're from somewhere else in the country? So it's to preserve the uniqueness of the smaller businesses here and some aspects of, New York City culture. But that's where you would need something like that to happen. It would have to happen on like the city or the state level. You can't shop there. For a lot of people in the United States, you can't tell them what to do. Shopping wherever they want and buying whatever they want is like the peak of freedom for them. They love everything about it, and you can't not say no. So I think boycotts in this day and age are very difficult, even though it's a go-to. I just don't think they're going to be as effective, especially if you don't have any parameters around it. Yeah. I went to Walmart once.
San Francisco is the same way when it comes to Walmart.
That's, it makes sense.
Most big cities are like that. Yeah. They want those things in the suburbs anyway.
They do. And you need the space for it.
Massive parking lots. That's also another
yes
thing, for the way they function. They need big roads for the trucks and everything like that. There's a logistics issue with a major city.
But also, Walmart has pulled out of communities before. They do shut down Walmarts, which leaves this massive footprint of land just unused because it's the store and also the parking lot that's just abandoned.
That's the problem with Oakland when basically all the teams left. I guess the Raiders started it first. When the Warriors were still there, the Walmart had left that was in the shopping center near the stadium. And there's not much actually near that stadium. It's one of the few stadiums with kind of a great logistical location because there's like 2 freeway exits that take you there, and public transportation drops you off right there at the stadium. But if you want to hang out after a game, there's literally nothing for you there but crime and public housing. So a shopping center was built that had like a In-N-Out and what's the Chinese chain? Panda Express. And a few other.
Oh, their food is horrible.
Yeah, it's just a few other chains, like a Jamba Juice was there and stuff. But there was a massive Walmart there, and the Walmart left. And there had been a big fight between the city and the county who controlled the Walmart that was there, the land, and what they were going to do with it. And so, from my understanding, it's still empty. Like you said, there's nothing there. But that big vacant nothingness started causing a problem. And as the teams eventually left, the little bit of business that was there from the people that work in the offices, and there's not many office buildings around there. There's a handful, not many. Some of that business left as well. So there's just this massive void. And then the break-ins started happening of people's cars. And then the businesses started to leave. It just wasn't profitable in that area anymore. Homeless encampments started to get set up around there. They were pretty massive. And I don't even know what's left in that little shopping center anymore. I know the Panda was still hanging on.
It leaves a massive hole in a community when Walmart pulls out. I mean, you have all the jobs that are gone, but also there's all the small businesses around that they have crushed that are no longer in existence. And it's just like compounding negative layers of effects. Yeah.
You know, when you think about a city like Oakland, you know, you don't think that a Walmart would cause a giant gaping hole in a kind of a bigger city. I don't know if I would call it metropolitan, but it was a massive problem. Still to this day, there's just nothing there. And
Like
where do you start?
Works nothing.
Well, you know, where do you start? You also have a lot of poor people around you. It almost feels like that location has been secretly redlined off. And a lot of the build out is just in other parts of the city.
Well, I mean, it's tough. The food desert situation. You don't. In New York City, we still have them. Very difficult before gentrification in Brooklyn to find a decent apple. I went on a search for one. It's actually very difficult. I like the green ones, but it doesn't matter. Green or red, yellow, very difficult to find a decent apple in Brooklyn in certain places for a very long time. Yeah, it's tough because then you have these drugstores like Walgreens and I don't know, whatever any of the other ones are, CVS, where they have the drugs. So there's long lines of people waiting for their drugs because, you know, maybe they don't have the best diets, and they don't have the best diets because these stores have snacks in them. Your most accessible places are going to be full of drugs and snacks, and that's not good.
Speak for yourself.
I know. Also, in the United States, the bald eagle, our official bird, was endangered for a long time. Same thing. Can't find a decent apple in the Big Apple. It's amazing. The irony.
The bodegas didn't have any apples.
They might have like trashy apples. They tend to have good bananas, though.
I was going to say cigarettes.
Oh, because maybe because they're island people, they have good banana connections. I don't know, but the bananas be on point there. It's good to get a banana at the bodega.
TMBS, why do maximalist political fantasies like calling for a general strike without infrastructure resonate so strongly in these online spaces?
I think people feel there is a need to do something big. It needs to be on a big scale. But that's also, there's like a wishful thinking in that, and that everyone will be on board. They think that you need huge numbers of people involved for there to be change. You actually don't. Vanguards can do a lot. Not the Vanguard. Vanguards, small groups of people who are very committed to a cause, can make a lot of change. You don't necessarily need the masses. Most of the masses are going to catch on late anyway. And some of them are going to be reactionary and they might not be down with the change that much. I think there's a lot of, I don't know, let me just tell this story. So I used to listen to a show on WBAI and it was hosted by young people. And I don't remember the name of the show, but there was one person on the show whenever they would talk about different problems who would always say, that's why we need a revolution. See, you guys, that's why we need a revolution. And I was like, man, take me out back and oh yeller me if I ever sound like that person. Because that is not an answer. But some people feel like that is the answer. And it's something that's really unachievable and they don't know the smaller steps to get to it. They're just like, look, we need to go big and just have a revolution, get the guillotines. I don't know how to make one, but I think we should get them.
Do you ask them if they can make an ashtray?
An ashtray? Like with clay?
An ashtray from clay? Because you talking about guillotines, I don't even know if you can make an ashtray or a pencil holder or...
Can you make a Billy bookcase from IKEA?
I think when you call the TaskRabbit to build your IKEA furniture, I don't really trust what you have to say about a guillotine.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. If you want to have a revolution, you need some skills,
and people don't slice fucking onions. I don't trust you.
The book that we read by Thomas Seidsoff, what was it called? No Option But Sabotage.
Yeah.
It does address this, and it does address having a vanguard, different cells in the way that they organized it, of people with different skills. And so one of us needs to know how to make a bomb. One of us knows where to put the sugar in the tank for the bulldozers to stop them. You need to know some things. It can't just be, I'm not going in that Target.
What if someone thought it was glitter in the tank?
Oh, wow. Let me stop off at Michael's real quick and get some glitter to put in this bulldozer.
What do you mean it's not glitter in the tank? We're going to emasculate him with glitter. That wasn't the plan. Oh, shit.
My God. I feel like that's how a revolution would go down. I really do.
Someone just throwing glitter in. Yeah, take that. Do you feel like less of a man now? Aha!
You'll never get this
stuck
off.
On your skin. You're never going to get it off.
That's probably assault, honestly. You throw glitter on ice, you're probably going to
fuck, dude. Getting glitter out of anything is the worst. And yes, tough. I know. And I know. Once it's on you forever.
This is why This Is Revolution needs to be your favorite podcast. Does your other favorite podcast talk about glitter and the revolution? I don't think so.
Someone said glitter revolution. Glitter. Andy says glitter in your tank sounds kinky.
Andy's just kinky. Maybe that's what it
is. Pascal, you've been face to face with these types of individuals that speak in this language. Why do you think this resonates with them so much?
I think it's a product of the fact that we live in a moment of political frustration. And their imaginations are outside the normative expectations of what politics can create. So they imagine that, everything in politics is like a cartoon where you can say, oh, let's do this and overturn the government without realizing what that really means in terms of the scale and size of what government can do to crush you. And I always found that people who actually lived who were part of the radical movements of the 60s always tended to have a more realistic reality in terms of understanding with the limitations of politics. I remember talking to Bruce Dixon about that, and he was like, yeah, man, these motherfuckers are fetishizing something that they don't understand. And he said, yeah, when we were young, some of us made those mistakes as well.
TMBS, you want to follow up on that?
Weather Underground. I mean, I guess when you're young and you want a revolution, it becomes blowing stuff up. That's what the early anarchists did. And then they did the wave of assassinations. They killed Empress Sisi. Damn, they killed the Czar. But it's like, they killed the Czar and they still didn't get like a revolution. They got his reactionary son taking his place and more oppression for the people and a few generations before the people actually had any level of liberation. I think if you wanna read how to blow up a pipe bomb and like try to blow up a pipe bomb after reading that, even though you probably shouldn't do that, you should check out some history first because I mean, people learned that those kind of tactics did not get the public on their side and also did not get the results that they wanted. But I mean, something like a general strike, people think that that's something everyone can do. It's within their ability. But they don't know if you're going to have a big strike like that. Oh, you also need a strike fund. How are you going to live while you're on strike? How are you going to pay these bills? I saw a lady online who was like, I haven't paid for, what'd she say, my garbage or my water in months. People think something bad's going to happen to you if you don't pay for those things and if you don't pay your taxes, but I'm fine. So I suggest don't pay for any of those things anymore. And I was like, girl, I don't know about that. But I mean, they think it's a personal action. It's a choice. You should be able to do that. Strikes are very different when you get labor involved, though. If you get, the people at the docks to stop loading, merchandise from overseas and, the people who really can sabotage things, if you get them to call out sick, if you get them involved, but they don't understand. They think everyone should just not go to work and then something revolution.
I mean, to say all that and not be tied to any like workers unions as well is kind of ridiculous.
But there's an anarchist strain in the United States, where it just took off more than other aspects of leftism, and
It's adventurism, like you said.
it's also individualism, personal expression.
It's a lot of that. Is there a kind of performance radicalism at play in left media where the appearance of militancy replaces actual organizing?
There is a fetishization with radicalism.
I mean, TMBS was just talking about killing czars, but you just can't kill the czar like you used to.
They don't make them like they used to.
They don't make them like they used to, just walking around in broad daylight. No
Exactly.
Like when you see how these people got killed, like how did Lincoln die?
Yeah.
That guy wasn't a sniper. He just like walked up to him.
It's true. Garfield also.
Yeah, you can't just walk up to a president anymore. The president isn't just like on the back of a train going, hear ye. Like those things are gone.
On the back of a train.
Right?
Oh, that's illegal in New York City.
To be on the back of a train.
You can't do that. Yeah, subway surfing.
Progress. Tally-ho.
I don't know. Interestingly, the czar that they killed, he had some attempts before. Of course he did. And someone from France sent him like a bomb-proof carriage for his horses, and they set off the bomb, and it did not, explode, and he was safe. But he was like a military guy, and he's like, I need to see how my people are doing. How are my soldiers faring with this bomb that went off? So he gets out of the carriage and he checks on people, and that's when they get him.
Someone said tell them to Shinzo.
Well, true.
Shinzo Abe is just at the like this. Oh,
You
they
still
can't
get
walk
got.
up to you.
As my boy used to say, it's always chain snatching season. So hey, anybody could get got. I guess you're right.
I mean, again, that was pretty shocking when it happened. Everybody was like, "No way!"
The guy made a gun.
I think I made a gun. Yeah. I mean, try to make a gun and shoot Maloney or fucking Putin. It's not gonna work out real well for you.
Oh, it's definitely not going to work out.
Not gonna work out real well for you.
But as far as left media and radicalism is concerned, I mean, I talk to Jason about this all the time. I feel. I don't know how much I say on air though, but I feel like, leftist media, these people are comms people. These are education people. There's different roles in the quote unquote revolution. You don't necessarily need to be the one with the pipe bomb. You probably should not be the one with the pipe bomb. You should probably also not even know the names of the people with the pipe bombs. You need to be in the front. You've made your choice. You are front facing. You are public facing. You are not this anonymous soldier in the background with no personal ties, no contact with your family, and you can just, with your one precious life, put sugar in a bunch of, bulldozers. So, maybe don't do that if you are a popular podcaster.
I mean, what does it say that these people think that they are the vanguards of a revolution? Does it play into the idea that podcasters are the new rock stars? And this goes beyond even the left space, kind of back to the Manosphere show that we did. When you watch those guys and the way they carry themselves, I think they feel like, and to some degree they are, because they're the few people that are literally pushing back against anything. There's not too many musicians of note that really push back on anything. And if they do, it's just so overly performative. I think there's something that feels authentic about that space. So I think they feel like, well, in the past, authentic, creative individuals led to revolutions, but they were more cultural. And I think that's where maybe there's the disconnect. They think these cultural changes were material changes. And they really do see themselves as vanguards of something. I mean, even the way the manosphere has been treated in media is kind of a false representation of the power that they have, because what we're really talking about is extremes. And there are extremes for a reason, right? We always talk about people with extreme video game addictions or extreme sexual proclivities, and the manosphere people are just these extreme examples of misogyny gone awry. But again, they are extreme. There's a lot of just normal dudes who jerk off to porn and play video games and don't hate women all that much. That may watch Andrew Tate.
I think it has to do with great man theory of history. Mm-hmm. I think that feeds into, in American culture, the individualism. I wish that too. I wish that more people knew about groups and what groups did, as opposed to just one guy.
I think because people are so atomized and they're so separate and siloed into their own individual kind of dugout that they built the notion of community. I think there's no real notion of community in our societies anymore with the advent of the internet and social media. That as a result, it's very easy for someone like, say, Nick Fuentes or one of these other type of charlatans to gain the attention of disaffected young men and give them the notion that he's like their leader. He's the head of the Groypers or whatever else. And they believe it.
But let's just say Nick Fuentes is the leader of the Groypers. So there's no Groyper army There's no card carrying
There
Groypers.
literally is a girl board.
There's not.
They call themselves.
There's not a Groyper army, right? There's not. Like, let's be honest, they're not.
Not like a
I
real.
feel real confident saying there's not. You know, at some point I'm going to cross the border. I'm going to walk into the States, and there's no Groyper that's going to be like, "We heard what you said," and then 15 little short white boys are going to, or kind of like white ethnic boys are going to beat the shit out of me. Like, that's never going to happen.
That's so
They're going to blow a Groyper whistle, and they all come down in their uniforms. No, it's not going to happen because this shit's not real. Same thing with Andrew Tate. He's not going to. No, fuck that. It's not real.
They used to get together and go to Charlie Kirk events and like heckle him and stuff. That's what they refer to as the Groyper Army.
But again, I don't care. If I was Charlie Kirk, I'd be like, man, if you don't shut, I don't care. Bitch, I got paid. I got paid to be here to piss you off. Mm-hmm. And if you want to keep following me around to events, they're gonna pay me more. So please keep coming. It's not serious. But it's where everybody's focus is, I feel like. No?
I think people want to be involved in something perhaps bigger than themselves. And for some people, that's becoming a Groyper. Some people, that is like joining a prepper community, homesteading.
Have you ever met, both of you, and I know age is a factor here, but seriously, there's enough young people in your vicinity. Have either one of you ever met a Groyper? Anyone listening right now? Have you ever met a real Groyper? This shit's just not real. Like, let's be honest. Have you? And please, if the Groypers want to hit the comments, I don't care, because I don't think you're real. I don't think you're going to kick anybody's ass. I think all you're going to do is complain online because you're a great big fat wet pussy. So take that. Take that. What are you going to do with it? You're going to shut up. That's what you're going to do about it. So seriously, you guys know any Groypers?
Beef, 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 beef.
I take that as a no. You guys don't know any.
I have never personally met a Groyper in my life.
Yeah.
I have met a vegan. Catching strays. I shouldn't even say that because they are militant in their way.
Like, I've actually met an incel.
Mm-hmm. There's lots of them.
I know an incel, like a self-proclaimed incel.
Mm-hmm.
Met one of those. Fine, not a problem, not a bully. Very polite around females. We've been at parties together. Very polite around women and everyone else. But never met a Groyper. I never met like an Andrew Tater.
Just because they're 9. Which looks at wet ass Groypers.
Like, if you're scared of Nick Fuentes, you might be kind of a wimp, and you should go do some push-ups.
I'm scared of Nick Fuentes. He might come through my window.
If he's coming through your window, he's just going to sniff your underwear drawer. It's all
with white nationalist tacos.
Crunchy ass old El Paso taco shells, shaking them. Toussaint.
I mean, he is gaining in popularity, but what isn't? Everything ridiculous is gaining popularity now.
As soon as Charlie Kirk got shot, Nick Fuentes kind of like elevated, like the floor rose, and all of a sudden the media was like, I think we need someone else to talk about. And then you could have said, "Did you never talked about the guy that got shot?"
Nah, man, we done with him. He lives in AI land. Right now, we dealing with this Kirk hole, and it looks like Nick Fuentes can fill the Kirk hole.
Nick Fuentes is filling the hell out of the Kirk hole. And what hole is Andrew Tate filling?
What hole?
Don't say it like that.
I was like, oh, he's filling his brother's.
Fill them all, Andrew. Fill them all.
Oh, ew. This is so nasty.
Because he smokes indoors.
Him and his weird brother. You know, it's like sometimes you meet somebody and then you see their sibling and you're like, oh, you just look like an iteration of this other person, but like something maybe kind of went wrong. I feel that way, maybe because you're just so familiar with the first person. I feel that way about Toni Braxton and her sisters. It's like they're all variations on her, but like kind of wonky. That's weird. That's wrong. I shouldn't say that. But I think I'm just so used to Tony's face. So I don't know. There's something weird about Tristan. I don't know. He's just
You guys are so mean.
Tristan is like an appendage.
Like the ridiculousness, and I don't know if you feel the same way, Pascal. The ridiculousness of those people that when they were like, we just need a general strike, and they would have general strike summits and all this stupid fuck shit. It's like, shut up. Just shut the fuck up. And they got a little bit of attention, and then it just keeps devolving and devolving with each iteration of that type of person that wants attention online. And that's how you get Clavicular saying, you know, I wake up in the morning and smoke meth and punch myself in the face with a hammer and do butt tons of steroids, and I'm losing my hair, so I take Rogaine and all this other ridiculous stuff. And then by the time you actually talk to him, I don't know if you guys bothered to listen to even 5 minutes of Daniel Bessner interviewing Clavicular. He sounds like any other 21-year-old boy.
Clavicular?
Yes, he did.
Oh my God! How far have we fallen?
I like Bessner. I like Bessner doing that. Actually, I like it. I like it.
Well, you need to. This is the question you have to ask yourself: why was Daniel Bessner able to interview Clavicular, and Clavicular walked away from Andrew Callahan? He shut the interview down.
I don't know. I didn't see either, but Clavicular is getting a lot of attention now, and it seems like from people who want to have him on as a spectacle. I believe that Bessner actually like really interrogated him and his worldview. I can't imagine him not doing that. He's just like too smart and not like mentally atrophied to not do that. He can't not do that. I feel like that's his instinct. But I actually I like them together. It's not as wild as it seems.
I mean, but why do you think that the Andrew Callahan interview didn't work?
Maybe Andrew Callahan is too on the scene, too in the know for that to work. He's maybe too on the same level as like someone like Clavicular. So
It did feel like a game of chess, whereas Daniel Bessner was like, "Look at this retard."
Daniel Bessner is an older version of
Clavicular.
not Clavicular, but of something that isn't so unlike Clavicular. Like Bessner had enough ambition to stay in school and get some degrees. The man's a doctor. So Clavicular just has a name that sounds like something medical, which gives him a certain gravitas for some people, I think.
You know, and these guys are they're making a political pivot. Like you said in the Manosphere show, they're making a religious pivot and then a political pivot. And Sneeko interviewed everyone's favorite professor, Pascal's favorite professor, Professor Zhang.
Oh,
Pascal does not like him. I made that up, people.
I thought you were going to say Ben Burgess.
I should have. Well, he lives close to me. I don't want him fucking sneaking into my house.
Oh man, imagine him hanging out with Sneeko. Yeah, Professor Zhang, I can totally see that because they're both like
idiots.
Yeah,
Professor
they're
Zhang, yeah.
they're like hyper media people, personalities.
Pascal, you know who Professor Zhang is, right?
Yeah, that's the guy who believes the Illuminati controls the politics.
And that Marxism needs global cap. What did he say about Marxism again? It was some ridiculous thing. That was like, oh, come on, man. You got to shut up. Why do people love you so much? He predicted a war in the Middle East. A word? Did he predict rain in December as well?
Red Dogger says Bessner interviewed him for a piece he is doing on the political economy of streaming.
Word.
Here for it. There's a lot of money in streaming. There's a lot of money in these young disaffected dudes. I don't know where these guys are getting this money from, but they're pouring it into gambling and AI girlfriends and all kinds of porn. And it's like, where do they get this money?
Everything is gambling now, though. I don't know if you guys saw this. Speaking of Walmart boycotts, Walmart has rolled out, I don't know if all of them, the digital price scanners. Meaning
I saw that.
You scan the price. You know, it's like pulling the arm, the one arm bandit. How much is this peanut butter going to be? $4.50 or $7.95? Insane.
Well, I mean, have you seen? I don't know. I think it's on TikTok. They have this thing called Lucky Scoops, which is also a form of gambling. It's like, I guess
Ice cream.
they roll a dice or something, and you get a certain number, and that becomes the number of Lucky Scoops you get. And there's this big bin of like plastic things made in China, and they take a big scoop and they scoop it into a bag, whatever the number is. And they might scoop from different bins, and you might get like some really cool Pokemon stuff or some stationery and cool pens, but you never know what you're gonna get because you don't know how many Lucky Scoops you're gonna get and what's gonna be scooped into the Lucky Scoop. And then you also have what is it, the Labubu's with the mystery bags.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a form of gambling, because if you're trying to make your collection, then you have to buy all the mystery bags and see what's in them in order to see if you can complete your collection. And a lot of things are coming in mystery bags now, especially for children. Lucky Scoop and those bags are geared towards children. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you guys think that the gambling craze can be possibly correlated to what we were talking about earlier, the atomization and the sense of isolation people feel? That in other words, since you can't have community, you go out and risk it all by just betting something safely from behind your computer or your internet, and just say, you know, waste some dollars or some coins on a sports or an event or a strike or a political function or an election by betting on it. It serves to fulfill a need for an addiction.
It's so gamified, and people are in the chat are asking about why people pay for porn, and we can get into that.
What?
I think that's kind of a silly thing to say. That's the kind of thing someone that's actually had sex says. Yeah. There's a gamification to all this gambling that's changed the way you even watch sports. And that's the big difference. So, for example, only hardcore basketball fans used to care about the Final Four, right? Who watches college basketball to that level where you know about some third-tier Division III school in the Carolinas, like Coastal Carolina, and you know that their starting point guard averages 15 points a game? That was for like a hardcore college basketball fan. But as the betting pools came out and you could make a little chart and you could go, well, I like all the teams with blue in their jerseys and I hope they all win their games. And then it's fun, right? You're making the game fun. And some of those games are actually very exciting. And you get these crazy upsets where small teams defeat these big powerhouse teams. And it can be fun. And as that got more and more gamified, like you're playing Mario Kart damn near on your phone with gambling, every aspect of sports, there's a wager to be made. So we're not just talking about people betting the under, like degenerate gamblers that you're talking about, right? Where they had bookies and shit. We're talking about people that are betting on almost every aspect of a game. And there's pop-ups you get. And the way the apps function, again, is like playing Candy Crush. So there's really no difference. And as far as people paying for online sex, you're also forgetting, or maybe you're just being flippant. And people, I am a victim of being flippant in half of the shit that I say. But there's a connection that you're getting with these people. Dating apps, which TMBS talked about very well with with a great panel of people last week, also gamified, but it's a numbers game for men. It's like I have to swipe the correct way on all these people, and eventually I'll get a match. And of those 10 matches I may get in a year, maybe if I'm lucky, I get 1 to 2 dates from it. That's going to make you kind of hate the opposite sex because they get to be so picky. If you can interact with the person you're masturbating to, that's damn near a girlfriend. It's a relationship.
In an age where people are actually having relationships with AI, shit, it's better than that.
A football player, a first round draft pick, had such an intimate relationship with his AI. He killed his actual living girlfriend and asked the AI how to cover it up. And that's how he got caught.
Not so bright. But someone in the chat, Virtuoso, says Tinder is a hookup app. And I was talking to Jason, I believe it was, I don't remember, when we did the champagne room, about why do these dudes fly women out just to have sex with them? And I told him that there's some aspect of online shopping to it. And I believe that's the case with Tinder and a lot of these apps. It's let me see if I can order up a person instead of a pizza. There's an aspect of shopping to it.
It's like the DoorDash for sex.
Yes. It's like those porn storylines where the pizza guy has sex with the person at the house.
Did somebody order a sausage too?
As Dusty said, yeah, the pizza guy drops off some dick. For some people, that would be ideal. Let me hop on Tinder. Let me set up a date. Let me have this person come to my place and bring food. What?
This is how bad it's gotten. In fitness influencer world, we all know that female fitness influencers just sell sex, but under the guise that this is about working out. But it's like, really, every workout you do is about a camera with an upshot in your butthole in the back of your vag? Like, that's every fucking workout you're doing? It's chest day and I'm looking at your butthole and your fucking vag crease?
Can I just say,
yes,
that might be your algorithm? That might be your algorithm, because I am learning to work on my internal rotation from some fitness influencers who sit in a chair. I don't know what you watching, bro. That's what you be clicking on.
TMBS, I feel like your rear end is probably so fucking round right now if you're watching fitness influencers, because all it is butt workouts.
I mean, there's so much going on. You can do physical therapy online.
Yeah, like, and you're like, damn, she sure does have me doing a lot of squats.
Squats are good for you. But
is this not clap sound? Every time I walk, it just claps.
Male fitness influencers are also selling sex, if you like. I was watching a podcast last night where they were saying that everything is fetish content, but you may not realize it. It's like selling, kinks and stuff to certain people. But
there's a handful of male influencers, and we've joked, we've showed them in the champagne room where they're just doing butt stuff. But it's a certain audience that you're going for.
Pause.
Why am I pausing? I'm not. They do butt stuff. Butt stuff. Camera up the butt.
A lot of guys don't do butt stuff. They do other things.
A lot of guys don't do butt stuff. Correct.
they're for the male gaze. Butt stuff is maybe a little too on the nose, but a lot of this stuff is
Let's
for
stop on the nose, Paul.
it is a lot of this stuff is for the menses.
So is it like a colonoscopy?
Colonoscopy.
Some of the fitness influencers might as well do a colonoscopy where the camera is located. But there was a woman, and she goes, "This marks the 15th day," whatever it was, right? It's always some thing that they're doing for no good reason. She basically claimed that she didn't have any money for a gym membership, so she would go to like sporting goods stores and work out.
I think that's hilarious.
Until she got caught, or she said until she had a big butt. She actually had a big butt, of course, right? So she goes to like a Dick's Sporting Goods and she's doing squats. And she's got the camera upshot, right? So you can see, everything. And then instead of pretending that this is about working out, she just goes, "Bust all in it." That's right, bust all in it. Get it? Bust all in it. And I'm like, wow. This is what it is now. It really is just sex and gambling.
I think that's so interesting. I was talking to my therapist the other day, and I was telling her about, I watch a lot of content that's about cleaning, decluttering, and cleaning hoarder houses and stuff. And so there's different methods to help you clean your living space. And one of them is the Fly Lady method. And I was telling her that when you learn the method, one of the first things that they tell you to do is to wash your dishes and to clean your sink. Make that thing sparkle. And they were like, psychologically, it does something for you to have this one clean spot and blah, blah, blah. And then as you read, it goes on to say that this is going to work for you because you're a little perfectionist, aren't you? You're a little perfectionist piggy. You like it when things are perfect, don't you? I'm like, yeah, there's a massive tone shift when you read about it. And I'm like, is this fetish content too? I don't know.
What the fuck?
I mean, perfectionist does play a part in a lot of things. But like, damn.
It's just, I just want to watch someone, just show me how to clean the sink, or no. I'll show you how to fuck the sink. Fuck that sink.
That's
fuck
why
it.
you didn't clean the sink, because you're a little perfectionist. That's why you didn't even get started. You're a perfectionist pig, aren't you?
Now fuck the sink.
Yeah.
Butt stuff.
I'm like, that took a turn. In the same
someone says, so much of my algorithm is just gorgeous women cooking or working out in full makeup. Yeah, it's like they're making things that aren't complicated or that you don't know how to make. Like, I'm making peanut butter and jelly. It's like, I don't care. Why are your teeth out? That's all the
algorithms are like.
My algorithm? It's just me?
All of y'all. No, all of y'all.
I'm the 100,000 likes. I just kept liking it with different accounts.
Hey man, I can't lie. Probably everyone's algorithm is wild like that. I didn't expect that to come in from the Fly Lady method. So
I'm actually constantly shocked at some of the things that shows up on my internet feed ever since I started doing this show.
I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all, Jason. I've seen your subconscious.
Nuri says this sounds like a butt stuff dealership.
I am still traumatized by that. Rulers, the tape measure, the tape measure AI video you showed us. My God. As implanted in my brain.
I had to stop watching all the AI fruit and cats. It was just too much.
Meow. I saw a really good one with the cat videos the other day.
Because it's addictive, right?
They're entertaining.
Meow, 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 meow. We all haven't said meow meow.
Even you.
There's nothing more addictive for someone that grew up watching Dallas, Dynasty, Falcon Crest, and all the rest than a cat drama, followed by a radish fucking an eggplant, fucking a monkey.
Oh, did you see that? Oh, that was classic.
I have never seen that before.
Yeah, dude.
Y'all are wow. Oh, y'all gatekeeping. We're gatekeeping the good stuff. Good.
How do material constraints like rent, wages, and healthcare limit the viability of large-scale actions like general strikes in the U.S.?
Well, okay, yeah. Your healthcare is tied to your job, which prevents you from striking. Or, it keeps you scared that you're gonna lose your job, so you're less likely to take action. The phrase "deadbeat cat dads," I read that and I was just like, that's amazing. It's accurate too. Yes, but yeah, that's how they keep you scared about your job in general in the United States, and how they try to stop people from striking or taking any kind of action. For sure, those are the things that these general strike people don't think about.
Pascal?
Well, those things are all intertwined with your form of income and depends on them. So as a result, you got to have the form of income to make sure you subsidize those things. As a result, your ability to protest is going to be limited because you have to go to work. You can't just bail out and say, "Oh, general strike." Like, nah, nigga, I need my health care. What are you talking about?
Most people don't have $500 saved, and so you don't have a strike fund either. You also are pretty atomized, so you don't have like mutual aid things set up already. You're gonna be screwed if you just like randomly decide to do a general strike. Like, none of that makes any sense, and that's why it doesn't catch on.
Here's a question. I mentioned this guy's name in the introduction. Is Scott Galloway filling a similar cultural role to Jordan Peterson before a different political audience?
Scott Galloway, let me tell you something. TMBS hooked me up with a feminist critique of Scott Galloway's book that was Chef's Kiss.
Therese is the name of the creator.
She disemboweled that man in terms of his notion that the men are damaged and this and that. And she was like, yo, basically this guy wants to sacrifice women to the altar of making men feel good. And it made me really look at him with a kind of jaundiced eye every time I hear him talk now. Because I'm like, he really never talks about how this stuff affects women. It's always about like, oh, the men need this and the men need that. Well, what exactly does that mean you're requiring women to do if we're centering this about how the men are so poorly socialized in today's society? And I have to admit, I had never thought about it that way because I, for a long time, had bought into the rhetoric of the men are not okay discourse. But that discourse, when you surrender to that discourse, it forbids you from asking the question, well, what exactly do you want women to do about that? And why exactly are we only concerned about the men being okay?
He also lobbied for Michael Bloomberg for president.
He's a capitalist.
Oh, big time capitalist.
Oh, yeah.
He hates unions, by the way, too. He's like, unions have failed you. Fuck unions. It's all about your...
I don't like the guy.
People love him because he speaks to a certain kind of fear. Like, people have to be kind of cognizant about the fact that there's a lot of these guys, and I think they're a lot more effective than Jordan Peterson because they don't use the word salad. Like, The moment has changed for that person to even have a certain amount of traction anymore. Like the Stefan Malnews and all those people that would just talk hours on end about nothing. It's kind of about, getting to the point in less than 90 seconds. And Scott Galloway is very, very good at being efficient in his propaganda. And
He's excellent at that.
Yeah, and I think when he, like, if you were going to debate a guy like that, or even get into some sort of discussion with him, I don't want to say debate because that sounds like some sort of like, we're going to have a verbal joust. If you're going to have a discussion with a guy like that, he's got licks that he's ready to play. And it's going to be hard for you to combat those things because you probably can't knock down what he's saying with 2-phrase jabs. Right?
Your game.
He's gonna come out with a bunch of statistics similar to how right-wing people do, but their statistics are all old. They're using stuff from sometimes 30 years ago. So you can easily go, that's just old. Where did you get that from? It's 30 years old. It's not the data anymore. Whereas Galloway is going to come at you with more up-to-date data. He's going to say it in a non-threatening way because he's not trying to fight you. He wants to be your friend. He might even try to find some common ground with you and be mildly disarming, in almost an autistic way. And I don't know why people don't talk about him more in our space as an influential figure that's having a negative effect.
I think people don't see him that way. It's interesting. Pascal says he doesn't like Scott Galloway. I actually really like Scott Galloway, or at least I used to. I was a really big supporter or fan or whatever. He used to have a YouTube channel, and it was just awesome. Really, really well done. He's always on top of his statistics. Some of his statistics are wrong and stupid, especially now when he gets them from like dating apps and stuff. But yeah, he did a swift pivot to being some kind of incel whisperer, and I think that's something that Jordan Peterson really popularized. And you see a guy like even Dr. K moving in that direction also. If he wasn't already there, it is extraordinarily profitable. And you get to make a difference for a group of people that you strongly identify with. So yeah, seeing Scott Galloway making this turn, which seems to also be very much like about his sons, it's very interesting. He sounds reasonable. He is a professor. People don't know that. They think he's like an economist or something. I'm sure he's not even good at math. He's a professor of marketing at NYU. And this is like a masterclass of marketing. He's gotten himself so far. He's got the women on The View nodding their heads along with him when he says all of these ridiculous things about young men and does not talk about young women, except to say they're doing really well and we can't ask them to lower their standards, and then proceeds to tell you about how they should lower their standards.
Well, young men is who I shouldn't say we haven't been talking about. We talk about them as either a failing class of people or as sexual sadists. Like that's kind of how young men exist in the mind of a lot of left discourse.
You think so?
Yeah. Why would you not think that's the case?
I don't know because it's hard for me to like
ask yourself this question. Gender studies, where most people get their understanding of male sexualization. Who is doing all those reports? Who's doing all the research? Who's writing all the books? Sure as fuck ain't Pascal. Sure as fuck ain't Tommy Curry. So you have to be honest for 1 second. There's a reason why people listen to Scott Galloway and Andrew Tate.
For sure. And they also market themselves to those people. as Jordan Peterson has done also, you'll see Jordan Peterson saying things like, well, actually, the real alpha male is the autistic guy with acne. And you're like, what?
You're like, as you stand up, you're like,
They all do that. They all do that. They just go hardcore into fan service and flattering who they think is out there listening to them in a way that I've never really seen before. Like, actually, you're the real alpha. Like, what? Oh my god! Like, yeah. And then that guy is so excited that he gives them more money. Like, why does he have so much money to give them? I don't know, but he loves their messages. They go out to see these people speak, and it is extraordinarily profitable. I know it is, and very flattering. It's as flattering as like a white woman running for office being told that like she's gonna save the country or something. It's the Hillary Clinton thing, and Elizabeth Warren went out for that too. A lot of white women get really seduced by that. So we see two different versions of the same thing. I'm just saying.
you know who's the most beautiful princess? Mildly overweight white woman with balls.
You know who's going to save the country?
And a little bit of belly fat. That's you.
Are you a blonde white woman with a fupa?
Does your belly stick out more than your butt?
You're the real alpha. You're the real CEO of your home.
Can you play kickball with your tits?
What? Jason.
Someone said Jason's destroying his dating profile. You hear these things like young men are just degenerate pieces of shit that are on OnlyFans and gambling all day, and then you see some kid picking his nose, probably smells like a foot. His room is filthy. You watch that and you're going to walk into your kid's room and be like, my son's an incel. It's like, no, he's just 14.
You're gonna turn into Eric Adams and start looking for guns in his room. See, between the books is a place where you can hide cocaine.
Can you imagine just walking into the average 14-year-old's room? You're going to see everything the internet told you was a warning sign. The same thing happened with Satanic Panic, right? Is he listening to the Motley Crue? He's probably sacrificed a virgin and ate a baby.
I mean, is he listening to Jordan Peterson? Is he listening to Scott Galloway? These guys are not leading them in good directions either.
You and that listen to those
really
things,
happening.
But can you listen to those things in passing and not really be seduced by it or even pay attention to what they're saying?
I mean, not paying attention to what they're saying is a way to be seduced by it. And I think that there's a fear that these people are so young that they're not able to, parse this information. They're not able to spot grifters. When do boys get to be dirty in peace? Who makes him clean his damn room? I don't know. I see women online cleaning their room for their kids and getting yelled at in the comments. So
I mean, a lot of people have dirty rooms. Right? On one spectrum, you have filthy men that can't clean their room, and then you have men on that spectrum telling young men, "Look, don't have a dirty room. That's disgusting. Mm-hmm. Nobody's gonna fuck you." We joked about this on the Manosphere show. At best, what people are trying to get from there is like, well, if I pop these pimples and do some push-ups and clean my room, can I get some pussy? You're going to get some pussy at the very least. Oh, well, then that's great. And they'll show you tons of videos of women with disgusting rooms and bathrooms. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We never talk about that.
I mean, I guess. All kinds of people getting shamed for how they live online, especially if they're moms. But we have this question in the chat for Pascal. Mm-hmm. Pascal, how do you think young Black men are receiving this discourse about dating?
I think the young black men are being affected by a different kind of socialization in the manosphere. They're all looking for Kevin Samuels daddies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Pascal
it's a much more harsh, I would say, misogynistic kind of discourse in some spaces.
There's a split. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And it's about blaming black women in a lot of ways. All the problems, this discourse, which comes out of the 70s kind of Moynihan report, that all of the failures of the black community are because black women can't control their illegitimate birth rate, is replete in a lot of these spaces, man.
Oh, it's horrible.
Facts.
Oh my God. Horrible what they say about black. Look at you fools falling for these girls just because they got a big ass and she's nasty and she's
got a high body count, bro.
She got a high body count. Yeah. What did that one woman say? Don't question me about my pussy miles. I
love that. I actually think that's really funny. I don't like people comparing women to cars, R. Kelly, but that's funny.
I never heard that phrase before in my life, pussy miles, and it's my new favorite phrase.
I was going to say that there's a split between the black manosphere and I guess the white manosphere or the white dominated manosphere, because it's not just black and white, right? But from what I can tell, in the white manosphere, they encourage marriage and having children in quote unquote wedlock in order to control the women. But in the black manosphere, they do not encourage marriage.
And I think those are more individuals.
For some of the white manosphere, I guess, top people, that is a huge deal breaker. It all exists for control, but they don't like that the black guys don't encourage marriage.
But they do so much cross collaboration. And I don't know if they don't encourage marriage. It's like they're putting the standard of who they're going to marry extremely high. And there's a lot of white people that are like that too. A lot of white men in the manosphere space that do that too.
All of them are supposed to be putting the standard of who they marry really high.
I mean, they all, because the guys that you're talking about, they eventually marry, like, you know, what was that woman? An X-ray tech.
Yeah.
The X-ray tech with the that's still rocking the makeup from '96 that you dug when you fucking went to your first Korn concert. You know.
I thought she was gonna have butterfly clips in her hair too. She had frosting in there.
Definitely a butterfly tattoo on her lower back.
Hey,
you know it's there.
She's probably still rocking that butterfly song. Come my lady, come my lady. You a butterfly.
I read recently that there is a fight over his estate, and I was like, didn't he die homeless?
Oh, wow. Maybe he's got
what estate.
He's got some publishing rights in there somewhere.
Oof. Have fun with that song.
Come my lady, come my lady.
Yeah.
It was nice to hear pause for that.
You want to say pause for that? Lady, come on the nose.
I mean, it was nice to hear a song where the guy liked the girl. Connor says, like, Chance the Rapper got clowned on so hard for making an album about loving his wife. It's hard for guys to love their wives in public now.
No, it's
love their girlfriends. Well, in front of guys, I think women like it, but a lot of men are just like, what is this?
If you act like a bully, then yeah, it's going to be hard for you to be normal in front of your wife, like the Myron Gaines guy, because
he's such a prick,
right? You have to show a certain amount of dominance. But normal people, I see them every day, and they hold their significant other's hand and hug their kids in public.
I'm talking about online. Myron can't even be seen to be holding a poodle. He forgot he was on camera lovingly holding a poodle, and he was like, oh, wait a minute, you know what, you take this and go clean, women.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a masculine dog, a brown one.
He really, I don't think he understands how bad he looked. Like, I don't think either one of those guys, Gaines or the white dude, Waller, was that his name? Something
Justin Waller.
Wallen, whatever. They like his thing. I love women, man. Why do you say I hate women? I love pussy.
Yeah.
If I love pussy so much, I can't hate women.
Yeah, they all say that.
So that's not how love works, sir. You know what? I hope you don't love anyone else.
Yeah. Hope you don't love your kids that way.
Yeah, I hope you don't love right? The guy just fucking. I when I'm fucking around to my wife, I show the woman I'm fucking around with a picture of my wife, and I go, "Bam!" And they go, "Okay, well."
He was like, "That's aggressive."
Yeah, what hole are you going to put it in? That's what they say. That's what they follow up with. And they remind me that it's an hourly rate.
Gross. He looks like a really weird Viking, just out of place. Every 12 picture of him, he looks pretty good, but like, I don't know, man.
I love how he stayed in blue steel.
He stayed in a snug suit as well.
You leave his clothes alone, you fucking hater.
He's a little curvaceous for some of those suits.
I don't have a problem with that as a curvy man myself. I'm a little hippie.
Okay, Jason. With the 3 buttons undone in Mexico. Okay.
Hey, it's warm. There's a heat wave. All right.
There's always a heat wave in your apartment. Some reason.
So says the ladies.
That's funny.
Prostitutes are serving right wingers. Word.
What did they say?
I mean, why not?
Prostitutes are serving right wingers. It's probably. I mean, you've been to fucking Hong Kong down here in Tijuana. I feel really confident that everyone in there is a cop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shaboing, shaboing. Yada, 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 boing, shaboing.
In closing.
We're closing. we were talking about shopping. We were talking about shopping.
It's all about shopping.
Wait, can I say something? Can I say something about the boycotts and the shopping and stuff? So in reading this article, Shopping Isn't a Strategy by Eric Blanc, I was reminded of co-host and friend to the show, Paul Prescott's article about activist Ernest Galloway. So I just want to read this really brief part of it, which I thought was just amazing and really stuck with me. So he says in this article, at A&P, where only 4 blacks were employed above the porter level, the JOC, Jobs and Opportunities Council, formed quote-unquote freedom lines and handed out customer concern cards that read, "We want more than token employment of Negroes in your business." After receiving 5,000 such cards in January 1958, A&P agreed to hire more blacks in skilled positions. So there's more to it, of course, but he mentioned that brief part, and Jason left. That doesn't involve people boycotting, but they're still consuming while making their concerns known to management and the higher ups. And so I just think this one size fits all kind of idea, its time is passing because it's just not working. We need to go back and actually resurrect ideas from the non-anarchist left, honestly, to see what people did in the past that also worked and could help now.
Pascal?
Very interesting insertion of some facts there. But how much is a boycott for labor inclusion of blacks during the civil rights movement going to translate into a methodology that we can use today to boycott for policy?
TMBS, that was to you.
How is that gonna
translate into a modern policy demand?
So that what I just read was more of what's being attacked or protested against is management of a corporation, which is the case for a lot of these boycotts. They're not actually looking to affect politicians. Maybe more recently, people are like, oh, these people are working with ICE or these people support Trump. But that is actually a very indirect way to, I think, get political change. People in the article, the guy says, he quotes someone saying, "You vote with your dollars" or something to that extent. But then, whenever there's a presidential election, people are like, "No, you vote with your vote, and you better vote right." And then after the election, it's back to you vote with your dollars. So I think people are very unclear on their aims as well as their targets. The article also mentions having a time frame for your boycott if you're going to do that, and a lot of this is just really not organized. Whenever there are these protests and these boycotts and stuff, it's always like you find out a day or two before it's going on. Who's in charge of this? What's going? How are we getting the word out? This is ridiculously disorganized and I think ineffective in a lot of ways. I mean, they did manage to put a dent in Target's profits. I don't think Target has taken any steps to ameliorate anything. They haven't met anyone's demands. What did we do? They're hurting for cash. They're gonna fire some people. What's up?
TMBS. Yes, we need to go back and look methods that are structural, materialist, and communitarian. Thank you very much, Magnus.
Magnus knows the words. Magnus has all the best words.
After COVID, the protests following the murder of George Floyd and the ongoing crisis in Gaza, is the American left politically or psychologically exhausted? And what would it take to build the kind of infrastructure necessary for a real type political action, a massive boycott or general strike?
I would say it's lacking in innovation, more so than exhausted. We need new tactics, new strategies, new members, organizations.
Are online audiences being miseducated about what organizing actually looks like?
I think online audiences need to stop looking to podcasts as the answers to their questions.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm gonna push back on that or not, but like sort of. I think podcasts can be a good place for education. You do have to look at the quality of the education you're getting, but certainly we could educate people about tactics and strategies. You need to understand that podcast hosts are not organizers, though, and stop fetishizing organizers. We can point people in the right direction, but that's not necessarily what people are doing on their podcast, though.
Well, also organizers, there's like the bigger names in the media, and then there's a lot of people that are doing on the ground work. Yesterday, definitely check that show out if you guys haven't. It's a short one. It's only about 40 minutes long. Randy Shaw was on, and he was talking about the Delano grape strike and the amount of organization and the amount of money that organizers were getting. They were getting like $5 a day, and they were set up in front of like every major grocery store, telling people why it was important not to buy grapes. You know what I mean? And it was a cross-racial coalition. It was a big deal. And it took thousands of people to make that happen. And I think we're addicted to the speed of our online realities. And there's a reason why people retreat to the online world. If I meet someone on OnlyFans, they're going to tell me exactly what I want to hear when I want to hear it. And I can deal with them at my leisure. That's really important because real relationships, be they friendships or romantic relationships, have periods of time of awkwardness and uncomfortable moments and moments where someone's getting on your nerves because you just want to be left alone and you don't know why you want to be left alone. So maybe now you're being a bit rude. Like that's real life, and real life is uncomfortable. Real life is waiting in lines with no device in your hand to occupy every single moment of your time. And when you're in a real struggle for anything, right? If you think about why it's easier to get people to sign up to knock on doors than it is to get people to sign up for the long haul work, you know, I would say look at Jehovah's Witnesses that walk around and knock on all those goddamn doors. That's year round. That's every weekend. They're going to do that. Not just for a short time before an election. Constantly doing this, making lists.
Chicken and rice.
Yeah, knocking on the same door just because someone said hello. Like Newry says Mormons. Like that's the kind of work that has to get put into it. A religious zeal. A lot of people don't have that because what do you have to work hard for? I can order.
It was just a zeal. How about a secular zeal?
Secular zeal. Like, but what does anyone have to work hard for? You have to work hard for shit.
I just want to say that if you think you're having a relationship with someone on OnlyFans, you're probably having a relationship with someone in the Philippines making $2 a day. They don't answer their own messages, especially the bigger ones. Like, why would they?
That's the sad part. We see these people, like how much time they put into kind of cultivating these relationships with the hope that they can continuously pay out. But there's an instantaneous reward that we have with the way we live our lives. And if I have to choose between not shopping at Amazon or not shopping at Amazon and going to a protest maybe 4 times a year and then like go to meetings every week and take notes, knock on doors, send a ton of emails. Oof. That's not fun.
Here's the thing, though. There's people who go to protests. I mean, the nature of protesting is a little bit different now with the surveillance and the chemicals and all the kettling, different things that they do now. But a lot of people who go to protests regularly will tell you, when I go to protests, I see my friends. These are people I have something in common with. If you're all there for the same cause, then you likely have other things in common with these people. A protest is also to socialize. On some level, you need to, because you also need to stay in touch with some of these people. Maybe put your email down on some lists with some folks. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe one of your throwaways, your sock puppets. How about that?
Tizzle says it's shit. I guess I'm in love with a poorly paid man in the Philippines.
You are. You are.
Damn. It's and rejection is hard. Like, we have to admit that rejection is hard. It's not fun. It can make you feel alone. What you have to remember is, much like the Mormons, much like the Jehovah's Witnesses, they're not getting rejected alone. I'm shitting on them and their whole flock.
You know what? That's true. You know who gets rejected alone? Vegans.
War on vegans Tucson has, man.
They go on solo missions. They are not Mormons. They are not Jehovah's Witnesses. They go on solo missions and they tell you about eating something with a face. Meat sales are down. So that's where your food comes from. It used to have a heartbeat.
That's how the vegan podcast starts. Remind them that they eat living things.
Yeah. Vegans. Oh, man. I feel like they're going to come for me. They're so aggressive.
I mean, they can only get you in the chat. They can't get you when you're walking around New York playing double dutch.
I'm a grown woman.
Poppy fire. Yeah, that's why you're the pro. It's like, that's OG MT.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And that's that she'd be doing all those squats.
Watching all those influencers.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's getting late. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Pascal, do you have anything planned for the weekend?
Some golf, maybe.
Instacart.
He does live in Florida.
Yeah.
That would be the proper sport. Toussaint, are you have any New York adventures planned? Are you gonna ride the train to take the A to the L5?
And then all you see is, and then it says crime in the city.
Crime in the city, right? You don't have any graffiti plans with your friends?
Do some revolutionary graffiti at night.
Revolutionary breakdancing.
I am. I just want to recommend that podcast episode of, was it the Michael Brooks Show, with friend to the show, Joshua Con Russell.
Yeah.
Yes. Where he breaks down organizing using The Simpsons as a metaphor.
That's a great show.
Or
Josh
as
is
a
a
device.
really cool dude.
And that's an organizer that can give you an idea of what actual organizing entails. And you can contrast that with what you hear on these podcasts. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Red episode that sticks with him. Oh, Josh would appreciate that. I'll let him know.
Yeah. That was a fantastic episode. I'm going to the post office. Which, support your local post office. Don't give in to the fear mongering of the post office not being profitable. It's not supposed to be. It's a service.
I'm actually going to talk to Ben Fong about the post office and Amazon's role in trying to take that over in a couple weeks in April.
Love it.
So
I'll find out if Ben is real or not.
he is. He
Never
is
met him.
real, and he's Asian. Don't even start with the stereotype or racism. I know you want to say a racism right now. It's
I was not going to say a racism.
Racism is bubbling inside of you. I can see it.
No. I'm excited to add another Ben to the collection.
No, you're excited to racism all over that man, aren't you?
I'm not. But yes, going to the post office, gonna get a little sunshine on the old dome, and yeah, I'm going to mail a gift to my cousin.
And then Monday we will be back. I'll be back early in the morning with Kuba for another What Fresh Hell. And later in the afternoon, we will be joined by California gubernatorial candidate Butch Ware, where Pascal will take on the task of interviewing Butch Ware in the lead up to the California gubernatorial race. Who will win? Right now, frighteningly, two right-wing candidates are in the lead.
I didn't even know who's running. So it's that big a race? There's like all kinds of people running right now. Okay.
And people forget that California historically has had Republican governors.
New York.
Newsom is one of the few non-Browns to be governor of that state in the last 60 years.
Non-Browns. That sounds racist.
Jerry
and his dad.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, what's going on?
Wow.
We don't want the Latin haze in office.
Well, we see where the racist Toussaint's head is at. And you guys
you say Browns. I'm not thinking the last name.
No, you're thinking of N-words because you are yourself. N-word.
That is a totally reasonable conclusion to come to.
Speaking of N-words, we have to go. On that note, we are
out.
Peace.